right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to game number 2 in this best of 5. I'm LGD Beyond the Summit. I'm joined here today by Winter, and we are casting IG versus LGD China. IG currently leading the series 1-0, and boy, they made it look easy in game 1. Winter, I was talking to you during the break, and I personally felt like they should have pressured the Lone Druid more before he got Radiance, and as you pointed out, Shadow Demon, Disruptor, not really the best ganking supports. I still feel like with Kunkka Doom, they could have done more there, but they didn't. Then they took the one really awful fight once the Radiance came out, and from there, it was just all IG all the way.
First pick Nature's Prophet. After banning it up. Huh.
You know, I feel Nature's Prophet... So here's my thinking about this more. Prophet's really good against LGD because they love to like play 5-man Dota. Even though they drafted a Tricore last game. I mean, look at how they built. They built an early mech. They built 3 BKBs as like their 3 big items on their cores first. And they tried to 5-man. So what's the best way to punish that? Well, Rat Dota is definitely near the top of that list.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet, the hero is just the playstyle very deadly towards LGD. Very directly countering LGD's 5-man playstyle.
And it's not like he's a bad hero in team fights. If you get a good ultimate that does a lot of damage, he can build a fast mech or force staff. Even Necrobook, so... I mean, he's not the best teamfight hero, but he's still damn strong.
Yeah, and LGD picked up the Vino that early. Like, every time I see them pick the Vino up very early, it most of the time means it's a solo mid Venomancer.
Yeah... Shawade Veno, I would almost call him a pioneer of the solo mid Veno. I mean, it used to... We've seen it before. He's not like the first person to ever do it, but... I would say he's the player from China who popularized it the most. And he also loves to rush Midas when he goes mid because, you know, Veno doesn't really need that, like any other items. Getting a mech is decent or Arcane Boots is okay, but you can kind of get away with a Midas. And no matter what, you always could just spam your level 4 Plague Wards and you're still basically the same hero. So if they want to run it as their solo mid, they definitely can.
It's very synergizing. It's very good synergy between the hero itself and the Midas, because you build a Midas, you want it to pay off for yourself and your team. And Venomancer is a hero that slows down the pace of the game and prolongs your team's farming. So get a Midas, Veno slows down the game, victory. Midas paid.
Victory indeed. Man, these bans, IG, I really like this Pugna ban. Pugna, I mean, they don't have the best defensive lineup. You give a team Veno Pugna, and then they maybe go like a Dragon Knight next, and stopping that push is nearly impossible. So, IG, they don't want to risk it. They get rid of it. As for LGD China, they are somewhat worried about this Rat Dota and late game play from IG. So they ban the Howl Anti-Mage, they ban the Lifestealer, and I think we just see both teams clearly are worried about different things. IG's worried about LGD's 5-man. They're worried about their early to mid-game aggression and pushing, and LGD worried about the split push and more of the late game oriented strategies from IG.
Yeah, different priorities by both of the teams. So IG is going to pick up the Dragon Knight. Very strong hero to fight, and also possibly if you need to 5-man yourself, you can do it with the Dragon Knight and the Nature's Prophet too.
Yeah, and just a good initiator, something they did not have yet. Crystal Maiden Prophet. I mean, Crystal Maiden's okay for the laning stage, but you need a proper stun later on, so... They get a Jack of all trades solo mid. We still don't know what Hal's going to be playing, and they still need their secondary support. Having banned out the Chen... I mean, what do you think we'll see Banana playing? Do you think they'd consider like an Enchantress here, or do they go away from the junglers?
Maybe they can still go for the Enchantress, or
even a Nate.
They can just go for.
Well, probably not against Rubik.
It depends on. I feel it depends on what offlane hero LGD has. If LGD doesn't have something like a Timbersaw, then you can go for the jungling heroes. Because if you're up against a Timbersaw or a Bristleback, not having a laning hero means you can't really zone the offlane out of the XP area. Dragon Knight might be the carry though with the Wisp.
It could also be a Tony here. Tony Wisp Prophet, a little DK Dota, little Fnatic Dota.
Tony with Dragon Knight Prophet.
You know, I think it was actually LGD versus IG, where LGD ran Spectre. Oh no, who was it? Somebody tried to run Spectre, and Tiny Wisp just like pooped on the Spectre. I'm trying to remember. It was one of the Chinese teams played recently.
DK?
Maybe it was. Well, it was probably DK running the Wisp. Yeah. Who were they playing? It was not Vici. I cannot remember. Oh, you know what? I think it was in the finals of Feng Yang. Whoever they played for that. So, anyway, That's neither here nor there. So IG goes Wisp. Like you said, it could pair with the Dragonite. They could go Gyro here. They have a pretty strong tri-lane, actually. Crystal Maiden Wisp plus like a Gyro. That's a pretty dangerous one. But LGD, they're worried about the Tiny. They're worried about the Rat Dota and the late game Dota. There's still plenty of other carries left in the pool, though.
Plenty of other carries, but Tiny is the one that's most effective against the Spectre lineup.
Timbersaw. Ooh. This is a good game for Timbersaw, I feel. There's not that much nuke damage from IG. He can really punish these squishy heroes like Strength Hero like Wisp, but Crystal Maiden, who's quite squishy in general. So this Timbersaw could be a great pick.
The lanes could be Nyx in the off lane, maybe, and Timbersaw solo mid against a Dragonite if Dragonite is middle. They could rotate vice versa, but Vino and Rubik would definitely be the supports for the Spectre.
Yeah, so that puts the Nyx as one of the solos there. And Nyx Dragonite, I would actually say, I would give the Dragonite the edge, if anything. You can't really harass him, and Mana Burn doesn't do anything when you can just Bottle Crow.
Unless they want to run Timbersaw off lane and they just let the Vino go up against the DK and Nyx is a support. That's the change I feel they can do as well.
That's true. And I guess the issue there is Rubik Nyx aren't really the best like zoning supports, and they don't have that much damage early on. So if Prophet goes boots first, they'll really struggle to kill him. Luna Wisp. So, you know, in a lot of ways, Winter, this hero is kind of similar to Tiny. It doesn't push as quickly, but Luna pushes damn hard. So the IG can actually 5-man quite well.
I don't think it's a lot of similarities, because Luna is weak, not a tank, not a rock.
Early game, perhaps. I need to move my overlay here. Sorry about that, guys. But once you get like your BKB Manta, you work towards the Butterfly Satanic, she's not so squishy anymore. She is a little bit weaker early on. Well, yeah, Tiny takes a while to fully come online. But we will see. As for the teams now, the draft is completed. Do you favor anybody before we introduce them?
I think both drafts have their pros and cons, and it will come down to whoever gets the better execution. If the Nyx, so Xiaowei is going to be on the Nyx. The Nyx will be the tempo controller. He's going to go to the offlane after seeing Dragonite is going to be played by Ferrari. So Dragonite versus Timbersaw, very effective for Timbersaw to lane against the DK. I would say it depends on how the gangs pan out for LGD, whether they are able to stop the Red Dota, and for IG is whether they can just continue farming their triple cores up to the later stage of the game and control the game from there with the relocate.
Yeah, LGD, you gotta wonder if they can go late, even with Spectre. I mean, it's a Spectre and a Timbersaw against a very scary Tricore, and one of the best late game supports in the Wisp. But on that note, let's introduce our teams here. IG leading 1-0 in the best of 5. And we start with them. Hal will be playing your carry Luna. Faith the support Wisp. Can he play as well as Die on the Wisp? We'll have to wait and see. 430 the Dragonite. YYF, your offlane Nature's Prophet. Boots first, indeed, the choice. And it will be Banana taking the Crystal Maiden as support.
And on the Director 8 side, he's playing the Nyx on the offlane. LGD DDC will be playing on Rubik. DD will be supporting as the Vino. Rabbit will be playing the Spectre. And lastly, we have Yao on the Timbersaw in the mid position.
Well, guys, on that note, let's get into game number 2. Mid lane, Yao got the better block, and like you said, should have a very good time here. Strength Hero versus Strength Hero. Timbersaw versus Melee Hero. Pretty much an ideal matchup for him.
Yeah,
still
DK cannot hope to win this lane. Just can bottle crow and try to get as much farm as possible. The lane is going to be super favorable for the Timbersaw.
Yeah, and it makes you really rely on your breathe fire to last hit, because you just keep on losing your strength, so your last hitting is not very impressive. But what do you think about this decision from LGD? They actually put the Nyx off lane. And Nyx off lane against... I feel like he can't do anything in this lane. Except maybe get some experience.
But if you think about the situation, if they put the Nyx in the middle, Nyx against DK, Nyx is not going to beat the DK. And Timbersaw off lane is... Yeah, it's decent, it's better than the Nyx off lane, but at least you get to win one of the lanes if you do the lanings like this.
True. Very true. And I guess if you go into the mid game, the Timbersaw is the hero that needs the farm more so than the Nyx. The Nyx just mostly needs the levels. And here comes Oh, just DDC trying to kill off this tree. He can't even run it down. It's got more move speed than him. Rubik with that pitiful 290 move speed.
Yeah, Rubik, Crystal Maiden, all are very slow supports. They just need to get a few levels. So Xiao Wei is going to get frostbitten up here. Might go down. First blood might go.
Oh, sorry. Xiao Wei gets caught out bottom lane. The Impale comes through. Connects on two. Lucid Beam's there as well. One more right click. Well executed. And this nice job by Faith. He'll heal Hao up as well, so... The beauty of that Nyx... Oh, we'll see 430 heading towards the bottom rune, and Yao's going to let him go, so... He will at least get a rune going his way, but... Early on, he's 11-4, and 430 is 3-0. That is really bad.
That is really bad, but you can't... DK is just going to have a very hard time against Timbersaw. That's nothing much for him to be able to do against a Timbersaw. Very difficult lane for him.
I guess the main thing is he can just try and get level 5 and then last hit more with the Breathe Fire, but that's really about it.
Yeah, the lane is just super unfavorable. That's I don't think you can really blame him. It's just very difficult for him.
They can get a kill here on YY, but they need to reserve the lift for when he tries to TP up. TP is available.
He's dead.
Now they lift him. Well played. And now he's dead.
Yeah, he waited there with a smoke as well. It's 3 minutes into the game. It's still a level 1 Rubik, and that wasn't first blood. I wouldn't say they made a lot out of that.
Yeah, comparing the support levels quickly, level 1 Rubik, level 3 Veno, but you look at IG and their supports are both level 3, so IG support's clearly getting a lot more off the map, and part of this is the Nature's Prophet just blocking camps, pulling the waves, and YYF generally being much more annoying than the offlane Nyx.
Yeah, the offlane Nyx, you can't expect him to do too much like a Prophet or a Timbers or a Clockwork. He's just there to get levels. He can't really go in and disrupt any farm of the supports, and he can't really pressure the carry. They just want the Nyx to get levels and be able to help up the team later on, and he's not expected to do much from the lane.
LGD China, they are getting some good farm on their Spectre though. Free farm Spectre. Always got to get a good trade, and I feel IG are getting a good trade, but it's not an amazing trade. Luna's farming well, but they're losing mid heavily. The Prophet is playing catch up, and he will catch up. But I think because Spectre's getting such good farm and Nyx is getting levels, LGD and they're winning mid should still be fairly happy with the laning stage.
Yeah, they definitely should be happy. The main concern for them is how are they going to dictate the play with the Nyx later on, because like the Timbersaw is going to get his farm, the Spectre is going to get his farm. So their only concern is on the Nyx Assassin, whether he's going to be able to dictate the play there.
And here comes the push from IG grouping up towards the bottom lane. The Nyx has a double damage rune, and they've rotated the Veno in. Now the TP comes. Pretty standard Nature's Prophet play. Get a few levels as the offlaner, and then just go push the safe lane towers. Do you think LGD should try and defend this? Timbersaw, almost level 6. They don't have Haunt yet, though, so I guess looks like they're going to go for a trade.
Yeah, I think it's okay for them to try to slow down the push. And maybe they can buy enough time for Timbersaw to get his teleport. Is he getting a teleport? No, just bottle crowing. Because if he comes in with a teleport with his chakram, he's gonna deal a lot of damage to them.
And IG scaring LGD off the tower. The first tower falls, it goes to IG. And I think they'll give one up in exchange here. There's no relocate available yet, no Prophet ult. And checking for TP scrolls, we have one on the Crystal Maiden, so it will be a 1-for-1 tower trade. Glyph already used. And Xiaotuji's going to get the last hit. That is a big tower to give up. Giving a Spectre last hit on the tower this early. I think LGD making good trades. And they did that with 2 heroes, not with 4. And they got a lot of experience out of the offlane.
They did it with 2 heroes, and Avino was constantly slowing down the push. Even though IG got the bottom tier 1 faster than LGD, but they used 4 heroes. They used more resources to take the tower. And
they did it with a lineup that's... I mean, LGD had a bad pushing combo. Spectre's not a good pushing.
Really bad.
Spectre Rubik is not a good pushing combo. So LGD still making good trades, but we saw this last game was it seemed like they were making pretty good trades and then they just collapsed in the mid game. And IG have the kind of lineup that can just make you collapse. If you overextend, you get eclipsed, you get Prophet ganked, relocate ganked. It can fall apart quickly. So they still haven't proven themselves yet, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but now it's a time for LGD to try and pick a fight already. They got a drums on the Spectre, so they want to fight on him, and Timbersaw just got his arcanes, and he has his spells. He's going to be level 7 soon. His spells are going to deal a lot of damage. This is a very good time for them to try and fight.
Meanwhile, a teleport comes in towards the middle lane from DDC. They could go for a kill on the Dragon Knight here, but in fact, both supports are camping out mid, neither team having vision of the other. And they go in now at 430. There is a Crystal Maiden waiting reserve, but they haunt through as well. 430's going to melt. One more right click from the Desolate should be enough to bring him down. Xiao Tuji comes in, but he gets stunned under the tower. The Timber Saw cleaned up the Crystal Maiden. They still dive. Going deep for this one. They'll get it. Give them 2. LGD, more heroes at the point of attack, and the early Timber Saw free farm. Good news for them. Really good use of the Spectre as well.
That was a very well-timed game, super well-timed. He just got his drums, and Timbersaw got his arcane boots and level 7. That was prime time for them to... There's no Eclipse on the Luna though. They can take this fight.
They could actually go down here. How could he end up falling? He probably will. In fact, there's no relocate out to save him. Not available yet. And they will get the turnaround. Luna falls. That is 3-0. And the worst part for IG is they rotated everyone mid. They walked 2 heroes mid. They're missing creeps bottom lane that are dying to the tower. That's a as far as early game fights go, that's a disaster of an early game fight.
Yeah, LGD totally benefiting from the Timbersaw free farm against the Dragon Knight there. He did so much damage and his team was able just to clean up after the damage he dealt. And not to mention the Spectre came in to fight and helped them out so much as well. Even with level 1 Desolate, he did so much damage.
Yeah, he really did. Like, the Dragon Knight was near creeps for part of that, so he wasn't taking Desolate damage the whole time, but the first 1 or 2 right clicks from Desolate just almost killed him instantly. And he actually got the Dragon Tail off, just didn't even matter. Okay, Winter, so I'm putting you in the captain's chair. What do you think LGD should do now? They had the good early Spectral Haunt. What's the next step for them?
They need to just wait maybe until they have a mech, or they just want to force things, because I feel the tempo right now, they can just slow down the tempo by Vino constantly farming one lane. Timbersaw can go to the jungle, and basically they just need to occupy 2 heroes, the Vino and the Timbersaw, in one of the other 2 lanes, and Spectre will be standing in 1 lane. The Nyx and the Rubik should always be constantly missing from the map, either trying to gank or trying to protect someone. So there's a lot of pressure towards IG heroes. If IG doesn't see the Nyx and the Rubik on the map, they are going to be in constant fear. They need sentries on all the lanes, and Spectre can assist his team from anywhere at any time.
Yeah, I think the most interesting point there is making sure their supports are missing. Because if they're visible, then you know they're not ganking you. So it might seem obvious, but it is crucial to LGD, just creating the element of fear. And then on top of that, if you can actually go for a gank here or there, that's even better. But they'll need the next level 6, which is coming soon.
They need his Bandetta, which is going to be soon. The threat is always actually more significant than the gank itself.
Yeah, especially if you make them react to you. Like you said, buying sentries. They've already bought 2. One was to deward the river, rune ward, but another was just a lane ward early on. So here comes DDC. IG, smoked up, looking to make a go on DDC. He could easily be dead. There's a dragon form available, and he could could keep on running. The Nova, it's a bit late. He jukes inside the trees. This feels like a gank too far. Now the Sprout comes through. Nope, just the teleport. Relocate. They're throwing everything at this one, but they're getting nothing for it. IG, relocate use, Prophet TP use. 5 heroes heading top, and 0 kills were claimed this day.
Apart from teleport scrolls from the Vino, and Timbersaw just walk all the way from middle lane, didn't even use TP.
Banana must have had his camera in the wrong spot, because that was a very late Nova. They needed to Nova him and Dragon Tail before he got to the trees.
Yeah, I felt they needed the Nova for sure, because DK couldn't run in on time to get his Dragon Tail off.
Yeah, and good reactions from the Rubik as well. DDC instantly scattered to the winds, and then started to use the terrain disadvantage. So now LGD, it's their turn to smoke. They just lead the way with Xiao 8, as usual. How appropriate. The director looking to write a better script for game number 2. And they'll go in now. Yeah. Banana has spotted them out, but will be lifted. No such luck on his escape path. Insta-give by the Vendetta and the Fade Bolt coming through. However, they're going to lose Xiao 8 here. Now the Haunt, maybe not. Eclipse, but is it enough? He comes in a little bit late, but I think just in time to clean up Faith here, maybe not. He gets Tether just slowed and then decides to retreat, running from the Dragon Knight. In the end, it will be a 1 for 2. The Crystal Maiden and Prophet fell. I honestly didn't even really see the Prophet in that fight. He just like showed up and died instantly.
Yeah, he died very, very quickly, and there's 3 kills to the name of the Spectre. Spectre is a carry that doesn't farm well but kills heroes well, and if he does that, it's going to speed up his Radiance, and that means trouble for the CM, trouble for the Prophet, trouble for the Wisp.
All of these, even Luna is fairly squishy. Well, not that squishy, but, you know, like you said, it's not a tiny. It's not a strength hero, not a really tanky hero early on, so Getting a fast Radiance could spell doom for IG.
And if you talk about the team fight LGD have,
Sick.
very strong combination of damage from the Vino and the Timbersaw, and Spectral ulti with Radiance is just going to clean up everything.
Xiao8's on the prowl. This is really Xiao8 in his element, is when he gets to direct the action, be on the aggressive. This is what they were not doing in Game 1, and this should be another easy kill on YYF. He's dead.
Easy kills, but there are supports nearby. Oh no, they're not going to come on.
If he hits this Impale, they're going to start with the lift.
Oh,
now
relocate.
the Impale. Relocate. Do they get a trade? Here's the question. Carapace comes through. They will lose DDC. Xiao8 should just let him run. And he will do so. Actually, Banana took some good damage, but Xiao8 should be fine. Well, maybe not. Lucent Beam coming through. Spectre's here, waiting in reserve. And that's worth it.
That was extremely worth it. You kill the Prophet, you trade the Rubik, you force a relocate.
And the worst part, Winter, guess what? The Midas was on cooldown. It's available. Or off cooldown, I should say. No value. Merlini would be very upset right now if he were here. No value was playing this.
YYF is actually building not even into a greedy item. He's building into the mech. Like, do you feel like it's a mech game? Like, they are constantly struggling to try and take a fight.
I guess the question is, will they take a fight if they get mech? Like, do you think that's enough to make a difference? Because
they need a BKB also.
Yeah, I feel like they need the Luna BKB, the Dragonite BKB, and the mech, and then maybe they can take a fight. But the alternative would be like either a 4-staff or just a Necro 3 and just try and rat Dota. What do you think? What do you think's better?
I think that it's very situational. Like sometimes it depends on how your team wants to play. If your team feels confident in taking the fight, then getting the mech is the appropriate option.
Right on to how they go. They're gonna catch him out. Relocate is not available. Now it is. He could bring him back in time. House dropping low. They're gonna need to drop it soon. Relocate out. Get him back. Save him. There's your bailout. They'll lose a Wisp for this, but that's a decent.
He was lucky that the Timber Chain didn't hit him. Otherwise, the Luna would have died.
Maybe not. They're gonna let him live. Mercy from LGD, who are content to take this tower. But there is no Vendetta gank now. There's no Haunt now. LGD gotta hoof it out of here. Here comes your TP. Lucent Beam to start. If they could just get in range for a Dragon Tail, it could turn this fight. Now YYF TPing in, but not far enough in front. They get nothing. They're still chasing, but the chase should end now, and it will.
The drum charge managed to get all of LGD out of trouble there. Enough movement speed for everyone to escape.
He's already used 4 drum charges at 14 minutes. That just shows you how aggressive LGD has been.
Yeah, it is indeed a very quick usage of all the drum charges there.
Thank you for that, Winter. Okay, so... no.
What did I do? What did I do?
That was not a good contribution. You're slacking. There's a lot of drum charges he used. Okay, so IG is going to get caught out now, 430. Impale, but I don't know if they can burst him down. In fact, well, with the Timber Saw, maybe they can. They come through. That Timber Chain's on the mark. He's still alive, still standing strong. They don't have a Haunt for this fight. Xiao8 dropping low. Crystal made an ultimate, doing good damage. Not enough. They won't get the kill now. Xiaotuji comes in, cleans up another. Banana, 430, both going to retreat out. So in the end, a 1-for-0. And I think the best part for LGD is they are
relocate.
Oh, they're going on DD bottom lane. But Gale, on 2.
Gale.
The ultimate cock block.
Oh, another wasted gank. They can go for Roche now, maybe, if they want to. Since relocate is down.
Yeah, and they have Haunt online, but... I guess maybe they want to wait for Spectre to get his relic at least, because he's only like 200 gold away.
Yeah, he's very close. He's probably going to get the Radiance by before 20 minutes. That's going to be a very good timing for them. Again, this is going to be the Radiance timing, like the last game.
Yeah, this is a really fast Radiance. It's... You know, I feel like the Spectre pick, it seems like a passive pick on paper, but because IG went for Wisp Prophet, they couldn't really do a whole lot to punish it. Like, you don't really want to go aggressive against a Veno and a Nyx when you have got a Wisp and Crystal Maiden.
Spectre's weakness is in the early laning phase, and if you don't use it to your advantage, but at the same time, because you pick the Wisp, you can't really take a fight early against the tri-lane, because your tri-lane is not strong as well.
Yeah, that's completely true. Yeah, Wisp, Crystal Maiden, Luna is an okay tri-lane, but it's not a great tri-lane, and they're very squishy.
Here comes the director.
Once again on the prowl. He's been... Oh, he might... Oh, he's gonna find it! It goes right over him! Easy right click! Xiaowei slays the courier. And let's see what it was carrying here. It was carrying a smoke, not the biggest loss. 430, lifted up, drop back down, isolated, and quickly eliminated from the fight. Faith relocated him, but he didn't bring the Luna with him. Eclipse was used. Oh my goodness. The Luna TP'd in, dropped the Eclipse, but it does nothing. 2 heroes fall. They might lose Xiaowei. That's going to be it so far. 3 for 1. Do they lose DD here?
He actually casted Eclipse and
did not relocate with them.
Yeah, did not relocate. He casted Eclipse before they came in.
Is that GG? Xiao2G just got Radiance off of that fight. Eclipse is on cooldown. Relocate's on cooldown. They just lost. Oh, they're going to give up Roshan here, probably, or get completely dewarded and all their lanes pushed in. Ouch. The Wisp did not bring in the Luna, and that was the fight. I mean, even if she did, though, do you think they would have won? It's only a level 1. Only a level 1
It's going to be difficult. Yeah, it's difficult too. I'm not sure if they would be able to win it, but it looks really bad for them. Even though if they were able to get the Eclipse off, maybe they would be able to get like at least 1 or 2 more kills, but maybe the Luna would have died.
And just look at the teamfight contribution of this. This Spectre, IG do have a mech, but it doesn't seem like enough. I mean, over the course of a single haunt, how long does haunt last? It's 6 seconds at level 2. 6 seconds, and what's the radiance burn again? 50 damage a second. So that's 300 damage just from the haunt.
300 damage
to every hero. And for a Wisp, that's like, it gets reduced, but I mean, it's at least a quarter of her health. Then you throw out a couple Desolate right clicks. Wisp will probably be at like a quarter health just from the Spectre haunt. And the same for the Crystal Maiden. The same for the Prophet almost.
Yeah, and if he gets hit by a Fate Bolt or a Mana Burn, he's dead.
Yeah, and that's exactly. That's assuming that there's, even if LGD get no other nukes, if they Vendetta anyone, if they Impale anyone, if they hit 1 Chakram or Poison Over Gale, that hero's dead. So I think IG have to rat Dota now, Winter. They cannot teamfight anymore. They've lost far too many engagements to try. Yeah,
they're trying to gank the Spectre with the CM and DK right now. Relocate is up, Prophet can teleport in, so it's potentially a 5-man game. But look at Xiao2G. He's just getting out of trouble now.
Yeah, retreating at just the right moment. He's showing good game sense, but they go in bottom lane. There's their haunt. They pick off the Luna. Now Faith on the run, but Spectre haunting that little terrified ball of fluffiness down.
You're lost at words to describe the
it's like haunting that thing. That big blue ball with some other balls orbiting it.
Is it actually considered a thing, or it is something else?
It's not even. It's like pure energy, right? That's what Wisp is supposed to be.
It's from a different realm of life.
Man, I was. You're making me trip, Winter, and I haven't even taken any drugs. Stop it.
I haven't got my coffee.
I haven't had my coffee either. After this game, assuming LGD win it, I'm probably going to grab some. Because this is a best of 5 and guaranteed at least 2 more games, if not 3, if LGD wins this one. And, you know, personally, I think this could be the best of 5 of the tournament, whoever wins. DK, we're waiting the winner. That could be a good series. The games Vici Gaming are in are just going to be bad games, as they're going to make a go on DD, because they don't have Sylar. So I feel like they're going to get stomped no matter what. They try to go on DD here.
Not having Sylar is very, very difficult for them to play against all the strong teams.
Yeah, it really felt like, I don't know, Mikasa didn't even play bad. It's just, they seemed uncomfortable as a team.
It's hard to say though, because like a lot of the team dynamic stuff, like without a certain player and some of the things don't go according to plan. And even though if you look at Mikasa, yeah, I agree, he didn't play bad, but there's something missing without Sylar.
Yeah,
it's difficult to explain.
Yeah, and like Super went mid one game, he was farming safe lane one game. Yeah, like they had to switch up roles a lot, where they normally, Vici Gaming never switches up roles, so it really felt like it hurt them a lot more than just, oh, we don't have Sylar. It's like, oh, we have to change other people's roles now too.
You don't want to change the roles as much as possible. You want to just leave it as it is, because everyone is more comfortable on their usual role. So if you have to change up the roles, it's very
Wait,
difficult.
how did the Aegis get killed by the Radiant? Did Prophet ult hit it? No. Did a Treant right-click it?
What?
I think Prophet Treant last hit the Roshan.
What?
I moved my camera top because I'm like, alright, they're gonna get this Rosh easily.
I just realized, I was like, what?
Yeah, so Radiant got the last hit. It was not a Prophet ult. It was not a Wisp reload.
Spectre snatched the Aegis.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? Why did Spectre
It must have been a
Aegis?
Treant. I have never seen a Treant last hit. I don't know if I've ever seen a Treant last hit a Rosh before. When the enemy team is 5 there. That's just bad play from LGD. Like, you should kill the Treants first and then finish the Rosh.
But the chances of a Treant...
Yeah, but come on, come on. We're not letting them off the hook for this winter. No mercy for LGD.
No mercy, and you don't expect it. You don't expect sloppy from LGD when they are the most disciplined team ever.
Yeah, and I mean the gold really makes a difference here. It could have been like a 7-8k gold lead. Now it's only a 5k gold lead.
He gave Prophet so much money.
They go in now with the Dragon Tail to start it off, but here comes the haunt. Double BKB on the front line here as they won't take damage from this. It's only the squishies on the back line who are going to be in trouble as the chase continues. Spectre pursuing the CM. I don't know if that's the hero you want to focus, but they will bring the CM down. Spectre still is an Aegis, and YYF could well be dead. The dagger comes through. YYF will fall. Monster kill for the Spectre. Meanwhile, on the middle side, on the other area of combat, they've now gone onto 430. He's isolated. He's going to be picked off. That's 4 dead. Forget about the Grand Theft Aegis. It's all about the Spectre. Xiao Tuji is too fat to fail.
Yeah, he is just too difficult for IG to handle right now. They have really no good answers to him. He just needs to horn and wait for the Dragon Tail and the Eclipse to go off and just come in right after all the spells, and he's gonna clean up everyone. And
the thing is, now he's got Manta. And that means really bad things for anyone who gets caught.
Yeah, the Luna will just die very quickly if he's alone. There's no creeps around him.
Yeah, 3 Desolate Illusions hitting for plus 65 damage, pure damage. That's a lot of damage. It's almost as good as Unstable Concoction.
They spent a buyback though the last fight on the Nyx.
Yeah. Do you think that's really a big deal? I feel like Xiao doesn't really need items this game.
Probably needs a dagger. I wouldn't say he doesn't need items, but at this point, because they're so far ahead, the dagger doesn't really feel that significant anymore. Yeah,
it seems like because the map's so open right now, right? Because they've taken 6 outer towers, so he can pretty much just run around a gank, and you can't have sentries everywhere when you're down 6 outer towers and you're behind this much.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to deal with a Nyx when you're behind like this. You just have to have true sight everywhere, or you just need to just play so safe that because he's not even if he's not ganking you, but he's forcing you to play so safe that you are losing out on farm, otherwise you wouldn't have lost out on.
The one area where it could hurt LGD is when they're trying to break the base, though. That's where they really might need the dagger, so it may delay them a bit, but overall, it still feels like LGD's game.
Yeah, it definitely is, but like you said, the snatch on the last hit on the Roshan actually saved a lot of time for IG to try and come back, because without that, the Nyx would have definitely have his dagger.
Overall, I guess I want to talk about the Wisp pick a little more, because I have not been very impressed by their usage of it. I don't feel like Luna's necessarily the strongest hero to get with a Wisp. They did get Tiny banned out, but the execution has been lackey as well. They didn't bring the Luna in for that one gank. We'll see Xiao 8 maybe get caught out here, but in general, I mean, you compare IG's Wisp play to DK's, and I feel like there's no comparison. This is not nearly as impressive.
I wouldn't blame the Wisp alone. It's like...
Well, no, like the pair, not just the Wisp.
Oh, the pair. Oh, yeah. Luna and Wisp is not really that impressive.
Combo. Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah. Oh, they got on 430. He did not BKB in time. Now he's going to pay the Piper. Easy kill. And do they just go high ground now? They've haunted him. No. They want to go on Fate. They've got a Manta here. Where's the Manta? Not even going to bother popping it. Godlike for the Spectre. Chasing him to the well. LGD are ruthless. They'll get 4 here. There was a buyback for the Dragonite, but what does it matter? Hal's dropped as well. They've still got Aegis. Triple buyback from IG. It ain't going to make a difference. 430 on the run. He's likely to be brought down, hurting them back. Butchering them at their own base. Maybe they've overextended. No, just kidding. Who am I kidding? Hal's going to drop low. No mana for an Impale. Stick charge is cooling down. Meanwhile, Timbersaw going hard. Cleans up the Prophet. GG. IG just got counter-stomped.
That was a very, very impressive game from LGD. And I think the most important thing that happened that game was the lane switch up that they had, letting the Timbersaw go middle against the DK, and he won his lane very significantly in the early 5 to 6 minutes. And after that, he did so much for his team. And the CM and Wiz is just food for the Timbersaw. They were able to clean up the early fights very effectively with the Timber plus Spectre Horning later to just kill off the support so quickly. And the Prophet was just having such a hard time against the Nyx.
It really, Winter just felt like a perfect team effort. Spectre came to fights early, was very effective. The supports had great movement. Xiao 8 he didn't get shut down bottom lane, but he had a hard time, and he still directed the action well as the offlaner, as the tempo controller. Yeah. Everybody did their part. That's LGD at their best, and they now have tied this best of 5 up 1-1.
It was a very classic LGD game. Like I talk about, the game plan was just very, very simple. They just needed to get Vino, Spectre, and Timbersaw to stand in one lane, and the Rubik and Nyx would be just constantly missing, and everyone else in IG was like, how do we go out and farm when those two are missing and there's a Horn? They just can't, and they got threatened by the Nyx so badly that they couldn't even go out the lanes, and when your lanes is not push out when you have a Wiz and a Prophet, you're in so much trouble, dude.
Yep, absolutely agree. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Game 2 in the books. Winter, the lobby is already up, so you may want to hop in here quickly. But we'll be right back after these messages with Game 3 in our best of 5. We're now tied up 1-1.